Good morning. I've had a few questions about how to adjust the extendable support on my Bosch 4100 table saw whenever it goes out of plane with the main table. So I'm going to shoot a quick video this morning showing you how to do that. So there's two main places where the support can be adjusted, and really it depends on what your situation is. If this table has dropped and is still planar with the main table, but it's just sitting lower, what I mean by that is so for both of these, for this you'll need to have a straight edge and place it across your top, ensuring it sits parallel and flush across the main portion of the table. But if whenever the table is in its home position, if there's a gap and it's parallel or it's lower than the table, then that means your table extension is just sitting lower. So that's the easiest adjustment to make. Pardon me, I'm gonna go off my tripod here. Alright, so now I'm off tripod, so it might be a little less steady, but here you can see my table, and I've actually unadjusted this to make it more obvious. So if the table is sitting lower than the main table if the extension table is sitting lower than the main table, then what you can do is go under here, and let me get the brightness going here. There's two machine screws with nuts on them. I have these loosened up for demonstration on either end of the saw, and there is some slop in the holes that those are bored through on the table, and they go through this steel plate here that rides on the track. So anyhow, what you can do is loosen all four of those nuts. They're 10 millimeter, and essentially raise, just going to put some light pressure on it, raise your table up to the parallel position and lock it back down. So the other possibility is that your table is at an angle out of plane with the main table. So the way to determine that is to extend it to its maximum, and you'll not only be able to see the angle, but sometimes it'll be flush with the table in here at the non-extended position, and there will be a gap at the extended position. So the way to adjust that is slightly more complicated. I'm not going to demonstrate it just because it takes a lot of time. Alright, that doesn't take a lot of time, it's just easy to screw up, and mine is actually already parallel, so I'm not going to mess with it. But anyhow, you'll have to remove this stop plate. This is simply just a stop that keeps the table from maxing out. It's just a machine screw there. That cap head screw needs to come out, or you can take this plate off. And there's three of these cap head machine screws. One's just hidden right here, and then the other one you have to pull the rail off completely, and it's sitting in here. But there's three of them on either side. So the first step is remove the stops on the front and back track, slide the whole table off, and then you have to adjust the angle of this track on the main table. So you can see why I don't want to do that this morning, because mine is already in alignment. But what you need to do is determine the angle first, and you can do this by trial and error, and then reset this track. You'll essentially have to, in my case, raise it up, and then you'll have to do it with the other track too. The best way to do this is to have a friend and to keep the extension table on and find out how far off it is. Loosen those screws just slightly, lift up on the table, retighten your screws, and then recheck it. And it's just a process of trial and error, much like aligning your blade and your carriage to the miter slots. So I hope that helps. If this video helped you, please share it, and if you like what my channel consists of, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thank you.